everyone, and welcome back for our 6th episode of Tailwind Talks. Today, I am joined by Chief People Officer Lane Gravely. Lane, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing well.
If you listened to our last episode, episode 5, we had a great episode with Brandon, our CEO, and John Fanning. It was a lot of fun. They played a really fun game. It was a great episode. And today, I get the distinct pleasure of talking to you, which I'm so excited about. So there's been a lot of exciting developments at Tailwind. And I think kind of what we'd like to do today is get to know Lane a little bit better, kind of rewind what the last couple of years have looked like, and then talk about the future, because the future is pretty exciting around here. Yeah. So if you're okay with it, I'd love to jump in and ask you a couple questions.
Yep.
Okay. First question. Tell people about Lane. Who is Lane outside of Tailwind?
Okay. I'm a papa. I'm pops to my grandsons, papa to my granddaughters. Been married, I think we're coming up on 39 years this month, to Linda. She's my high school sweetheart, the love of my life. We had 4 girls that we raised together. So I've got 4 daughters. I think they're all in their 30s now. My girls are super close to me. I did this thing when they were young, through junior high and high school, where I kind of had a chair in their bedroom, and it's kind of like my chair. And I would just go in there at night and just talk, nothing specific. How was your day? How are things going? And I think it really was a thing that built bonds with them. And so I would say they're probably 4 of my very best friends. And we spend a lot of time together. They've been very productive. They all have kids and they're married, and they have wonderful son-in-laws. The boys are all my right arms when we're together. We do a lot. We play together. We work together. Good guys, good dads, good husbands. And then the grandkids, they just keep me cranking.
How many?
So 9.4. We might be pushing 9.5. I think it's still 9.4. So Rachel, my youngest, is pregnant. She's having a boy, so she's got 3 girls. So they're pretty pumped. They get a little boy. And hobby-wise, I try my best to stay active. I usually do a little workout in the morning, nothing hardcore, just to get some cardio going and get my blood pumping. And I bike a little bit, road bike a bit.
That's something that we bonded over. Yeah. When I bought my bike, I started sending you my routes. Yeah. Look what I did today.
And I think you did more than me this summer.
Yes.
I did not get out as much as I would like. Play some pickleball. That's fun. Basketball used to be my thing, but it's a little hard on the body. So pickleball is a little more my speed today. I very regularly can beat Brandon at pickleball. If you want to ask him, that's sort of one of the things that you just can't win at.
I have heard opposite.
Really?
Of that. Yes.
Yeah. I didn't think he was a liar, but maybe. Maybe he's got no. We have a lot of fun. If we play skinny singles, so just half the court, I can compete with him.
You win every time.
I can compete with him really well. If it's a full court and it's singles, he's gonna mop the court up with me. Those are kind of my hobbies. I would say Linda and I are kind of excited. We are involved in a new church plant in town, which is kind of fun for us. So we're spending time there. We're the coffee people on Sunday mornings and greeters and that kind of thing. It's a little college church, so tons of college students, which is kind of my speed. I enjoy trying to pour into college students. So hopefully it turns into a multi-generational church, but right now it's pretty focused on college students, thing called the SALT Company. I get to go visit them in different college towns that I get to travel to. So it's kind of fun. But I think that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing. I think the kind of next direction that I'd like to take this, as we continue to kind of focus on the last 4 incredible years, is not many people probably know this, but how did you get here? What was your professional journey, and what ultimately was the catalyst for you coming to Tailwind as the president 4 years ago? Tell me a little bit about what that was like.
Yeah. First job, we basically moved to Mankato the day after we graduated high school, looking for work. We both had jobs at Hy-Vee, making $3.75 an hour. And it wasn't enough. So I found another job, this local printing company that was brand new and on the grow, and just, kind of got lucky, to be honest. It was a really fast growing company that did really well for a long time. I was running a printing press on the third shift, the overnight shift. That was my job for a while, and just enjoyed it. Got noticed. I kind of had a knack for innovation and new product development and that kind of thing, and eventually turned into a kind of an R&D guy there, and developed some things, wrote some patents, traveled around the world and bought equipment. Pretty fun gig for a while. I think when I was about 30, though, the president of the company, one of my key mentors in life, noticed something in me and asked me if I'd get my college degree, which I always wanted to. But life happened fast for us, so I didn't. So yeah, I said sure I would, and found a little private school that fit my schedule, and took me 6 years to get a 4-year degree, but nights and weekends and pauses once in a while and that kind of thing. But eventually that led to upper management, and then it led to running the company. Good place. Challenges there. Sales, getting sales and keeping sales was always probably the biggest challenge.
Sure.
Very competitive environment, skinny margins. You had to be super efficient and good, quality had to be super good. So anything you saw kind of in a grocery store was sort of our printed product. So I would fly around and meet different customers and try to gain business with our sales leaders, and try to convince them that we can do good work. And then I would say the second biggest challenge was probably the culture. As I worked for a company called Taylor Corporation, which is still a leading employer here in Mankato. But when they started, they kind of had every company was sort of autonomous on its own, kind of its own little culture. You'd report up to Taylor Corp, but it was really for guidance. And as that company grew to 85 plus companies, wow, 9,000 employees, it became more and more corporate, which happens when you get that big. And it became more of you were getting more direction from corporate versus just guidance and support.
Yeah.
And so, I just kind of thought, I just kind of missed the small company thing.
Yeah.
And I often wondered, could I take what I learned here and apply it somewhere else? Because I was in one building for 35 years. So I got a phone call one day. I think it was probably summer of 2020. I got a call from a recruiter that was just looking for a leader for a small company. Didn't tell me who it was. A guy named Earl Cummings, who happened to be a consultant for Tailwind. Mm-hmm. And rewind about 2 weeks, I had been on a bike ride. I was riding a little more back then with a buddy, really, really, really good friend of mine, a guy named Chuck Kind. And he was just asking me about work and life and whatever. And I said, I'm kind of starting to wonder, is there something else for me? I don't know. I was starting to get kind of that itch to try something different. And so the timing worked out. Earl called Chuck. Chuck gave him my name.
Wow.
Isn't that funny how bike ride and simple question turned into that?
We need to get you back on the bike.
And so, I started meeting with Reggie, and I met with Michael a couple times, and I met with Landon, and kind of just trying to figure out who I was, what my leadership style was. They were really looking for somebody that could scale for growth. They had significant growth plans in their brains, and they wanted somebody that could lead people and develop leaders and those kind of things. So it looked good. I thought maybe this is going to happen, and then they went silent for like 30 days.
Oh, no. So it was a long process.
Oh, yeah. It took probably 2.5 months. We were praying about it. I was excited, but then it just kind of got quiet. And one day I get a phone call from Kyle Smith, who I hadn't met yet. And he's like, "Hey, do you have time for lunch today?" I'm, "Yeah, sure. I can make it work." So we go up to the 7th floor here, and he brings in like 3 different lunch things because he didn't know what I wanted, right? And it wasn't really an interview because, I think he probably just figured the other guys peppered me already. But he just got to know me, got to know what's my family all about, what's my life all about. We just had a really fun hour-long conversation. I don't remember anything specific other than I kind of liked him, right? It's like,
Yeah.
this is a really fun group. And I got a call that afternoon with a job offer. I mean, it's that simple. So I tease Kyle because, you know, if I would have not been available that day, it might not have happened, right? Because the guy's like running on 90 miles an hour all the time, right?
Yeah.
But he makes fast decisions and gut decisions, and that's kind of how Tailwind was built. And so that's kind of how it started.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
A couple more questions for
Yep.
you, kind of focused on, you know, looking back on the last 4 years. You know, what has, I mean, I'm sure you came into it, no training. Good luck. Here you go.
Yeah.
So you basically had to roadmap this for yourself. So where did that roadmap ultimately take you over the last 4 years, and what have you enjoyed the most? That's a really tough question.
Yeah, no, it's good. Again, started out with just getting to know people. And as I got to know people, I started to understand the business a little bit. I very quickly gravitated towards what I knew. I knew operations pretty well. Now, not apartment operations, but I knew operational efficiency and customer service and, you know, how we treat people, you know, how everything should look great all the time. This is just normal stuff.
Yeah.
And then I knew sales enough to be dangerous. I could never go find my own sales without a really good salesperson. That was never my strength. But I was good at coming alongside a salesperson and helping sort of craft or navigate a way to go.
Nurturing that sale. Yeah.
And so I just kind of fell in love with those two sides of the business that first year. I spent a lot of time on those leasing calls. It was super fun, and I learned.
There was a period of time when you were there every week.
Yeah.
I remember that very vividly.
Yeah. I loved it. I mean,
it made me a little nervous at the time. I'm not going to lie.
No, it was really good. You got to understand what the team is battling. You got to understand, you know, where things are going really well and what the challenges are. And I learned a ton about the business just on those calls. And then I just really kind of locked up with Brandon, you know, and quickly became kind of shoulder to shoulder with Brandon because, again, the operations were just super natural for me and I just enjoyed it. I think there was about a 6-month period where I was driving him crazy because I had a lot of ideas. Like, you know, I'm an idea guy, right? I always have to tell people it's just an idea. But
I think you say that to me at least twice in every conversation that we have.
It's just an idea. You don't have to do it. But I think people think if he says it, I better
have to do it. Yeah.
No, I just love ideas. I love throwing darts and seeing what sticks. And anyway, Brandon and I eventually figured out our rhythm, and it became a lot of fun there. For, you know, I think when I started, we had 16 sites. I think we have 36 or so today, and I don't know how many teams we have, 31 maybe, something like that. So it's growing quite a bit. It's a little more challenging is the wider you get.
Well, thank you for sharing those. If you're okay, we're going to take a brief pause and we're going to get set up because I know you're a competitive person. So a game is right on par for you.
All right.
So we'll be back in just a minute. We're going to play a game.
We are playing a holiday music trivia. So I will play a song. And if you think you know the artist, I want you to hit the buzzer. And then if you're correct, you get a point. And if you are not, we will give the other person a chance to answer. First to 5 will get a special holiday prize.
What's
Are you
the
guys
prize?
ready?
We got to know what we're playing for.
Okay. It is an ornament.
I don't have an ornament like that.
I will come in and show. It's a Tailwind ornament.
Let's go.
All right. Are you guys ready?
We're ready.
Oh, I have to have my hand down here.
Keep your hand down.
I'm ready. Okay, I gotta win this thing. Well, come on.
Hit it to where it buzzes.
Elvis.
Correct.
But what's the name of the song?
Blue Christmas.
See, you'd know that.
Yeah. You didn't know the title?
I don't know the title.
That was pretty good. All right. Question number 2.
You know this one. I forget her name. What's her name? She's old school. What is her name? She's famous. This is from the Home Alone movie.
I want to say it's an older name.
What's her name? I should know this one for sure. Anyway, I don't.
We're gonna pass. You're gonna.
Forfeiting that one.
What's her name?
Brenda Lee.
Oh yeah, Brenda Lee, of course. Most famous song ever.
All right, let's do a little bit of a newer one. Actually, I don't know if you would consider this new, but maybe more of a Devan song.
Okay, Devin, got a shot here. It's a little weird that you didn't wait till the person sang.
No, because I know the song.
Zero chance for me. I mean, if you would have let the person do like 5 words, I would have had an opportunity.
You want more of the song to play?
Yeah, we gotta get. Yeah, that's enough. I have no idea who that is, but I like it.
It's NSYNC.
Yeah,
NSYNC.
NSYNC.
I've never heard that song before.
Probably loved NSYNC.
But it really sounded good.
Keep playing it.
I mean, I really did. I've never heard that song. Wonder why I haven't heard this song. Sounds like it's old.
Because you don't like Christmas music.
That's true. All right, keep going.
I think you should add that to your playlist at home.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another good one.
Are you winning?
No, you've got one. We forfeited one, and I got one, so we're tied.
Right.
This one is such a classic. I will be very disappointed if Lane doesn't know it.
I have to wait for some words. This is Mariah Carey.
You faked me out. You saw that I was about to touch it, and then you were like, we need to wait for words. So I literally stepped back a second. You faked me out. I'm mad.
Devin,
I'm so mad.
Devin, try to remember this. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Did you see that he did that? He was like, we got to wait for some words, and I was trying to be nice and give him a chance, and he faked me out. The second he saw me sit back, he just went in for it.
She's not competitive. Not at all.
I'm so sorry. Lane he just has to win, but it's okay if we let him win.
Okay, come on, Devin. Come on, Devin. Get your game on. This one sounds familiar.
Michael Bublé.
Yes.
Let's go.
Wow.
Are we tied now? Yeah, we're tied.
Yes.
Emma's keeping score.
Was this the last one? Tiebreaker?
Yeah, best of 5.
This one could be hard. We'll try.
Bing Crosby. I had a shot.
You did, but it wasn't that.
I have no idea.
I know. Hold on. Who was that guy? Oh, I forget his name.
Sometimes I have to think of really hard ones for Lane.
Yeah.
This one was Nat King Cole.
Nat King Cole.
Oh.
Okay, so then we'll have to do one more for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here we go.
It's got a nice beat. You could dance to it. You already know it.
Jackson 5.
Yes.
Wow! How did you get it out of that? Give her the stupid prize. Let's move on.
No! Stupid!
Give us a couple more.
Okay, we'll do another one.
What are you?
True to fashion, Lane takes everything really seriously.
Piss me off. Don't say that. My grandkids' sons might watch. It's got to be Sinatra.
It was.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay,
You
so
knew
now
that
are
one.
we tied? Do we need one more?
One more.
She's letting me win.
No, I'm not.
She knew that one.
Let's do one more here.
This is Last Christmas. I know this song.
Wham.
Yes. All right, Lane schooled Devan yet again.
If he had not faked me out on Mariah Carey, that got me.
All right. This is
Congratulations.
going
That better go on your
Thank
tree.
you.
Proudly.
It will. It will.
Well, Lane, it was an infuriating loss, but congratulations on winning the music game.
I think you let me win.
Ornament. No, I didn't, because I was out for blood when you faked me out on Mariah Carey. I will never forget that, and I will talk about it until the end of time.
Okay.
in the next section of the episode, I really want to talk to you about the future, because I think the future of Tailwind is really exciting. But before we do that, you and I met a couple days ago, and I kind of prepped you what this process would be like. Mm-hmm. But I did leave something out, and I do have a surprise for you. So I have some people that want to share some words with you about your new position as Chief People Officer. Okay. So I'd like to show you something.
Oh, I thought you were going to file them in here.
No, I'm not going to bring them in, but I'm going to move this, and I'm going to bring this over so that you can see it.
Oh, wow.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Have you ever made me cry? I know I have made you cry once or twice.
All the time. Maybe this is payback.
Okay.
Hi, Lane. I just wanted to congratulate you on your new position as Chief People Officer, and thank you for everything that you have done for me and my team over the last 4 years. Your passion for sales has been such a driving force in my career, and the impact that you've made on the people here at Tailwind is tremendous, and I am so excited to see what you do in your position. I am so proud of you, so grateful to know you. I think you're an incredible leader, and I think this next chapter is going to be so amazing and so exciting, and I'm so happy for you. So congratulations.
Lane, what's up, bro? Telling you congratulations. You already know how much you mean to me, how big of an impact that you've had on me and my life. You've been a great friend, mentor, and boss. I said it on the company call. Anyone would be lucky to have a person like you in their life. You've meant the world to me, and I can't wait to see what you do in this new role, where you're going to have such a tremendous impact on so many people at Tailwind. I know you're going to crush it. Congrats.
I can't think of anybody that fills a better position for Chief People Officer than Lane himself. Congrats, Lane. What a wonderful opportunity, not only for you, but for Tailwind and the employees. You are such a great mentor and teacher to a lot of people. Can't wait to continue the conversations, the banter, and continue to move the needle at Tailwind and the employees. Thanks, Lane. Congrats.
Congratulations, Lane. Excited to see you take on your new role as Chief People Officer of Tailwind. I've personally enjoyed our relationship and how it's grown over the last 4 years. The important lessons that you've given me in our one-on-ones, your rules of life, how to teach, how to coach, how to become self-aware. I'm excited for what you're going to do with Tailwind culture and the tools and resources that you're going to provide. Here's to the next however many years. Congrats.
Hi, Lane. Just want to say congratulations on your new role as Chief People Officer for Tailwind Group. You're an amazing individual and a great leader, and you've helped mentor and grow so many people within our organization, department level, SLT, and more. And you've helped me on a personal, professional, and a spiritual level, and I just want to express my sincerest gratitude. So thank you so much, and congrats.
Congratulations, Lane, on your next exciting role. Your impact over the last 4 years has been enormous in helping shape Tailwind where it is today. And I know I can't personally thank you enough for all your support through the years and continual development to make me a better leader. And now to be able to focus your time and energy across the board with everyone is going to be huge for Tailwind's success. You're a people person through and through, and we can't thank you enough for all your hard work and trying to bring out the best in all of us. Congrats again, Lane, and looking forward to a really bright future.
Hey, Lane, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for doing it. I just wanted to extend a quick congratulations on your new role. Thank you for everything you've done for Tailwind, and I'm very excited for the way that you're going to be able to cascade your leadership skills and kind of transfer that knowledge to the employee leadership team and all the way across the company. So congratulations to you, and we're excited for the future.
Hey, Lane, congratulations on your new role as Chief People Officer. I'm so excited for you. This is a great next chapter, and I think you will excel in this role and be integral to leading Tailwind to the next chapter as we focus on, our best asset, which is our people. I can speak from personal experience. You have changed my life, both in leadership and on the personal level. So grateful for everything you've done. Keep up with the great work, brother.
Lane, it's been an incredible 4 years being in your life, my friend. And to continue to watch you fight for the highest good in those you lead, and now to make the pass to the next generation, to lead the company while you continue to lead in people development is truly amazing leadership. It looks a lot like Jesus making the pass and empowering people in a different place. I love you, my friend. Well done.
Congratulations, Lane, on your new role at Tailwind. I am so proud of you and excited for you in this new role. Just a few words that describe you. You are a godly leader in our family and at your job. You encourage those around you to be better, a mentor and coach, a friend, and of course, a wonderful husband and father and papa. I speak for all of our family. We are very proud of you and we love you.
Oh boy.
I can take it back.
Thank you. That's amazing. I don't accept praise very well. It's one of the things in life that I've tried to be better at, but I really do appreciate it. That's amazing. Can I have that?
Yes, we will. No, you only get to watch it one time and you never get to see it again.
That was amazing.
I'm sorry it was so long, but there were a lot of people that had a lot of really tremendous things that they wanted to say to you. So, and it felt like a really exciting time with everything that we're talking about today to do that. So I think we're actually just going to take a brief pause after that, give you a quick minute to reset, and we'll be back to talk about the future.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for enduring that.
I'm all good now.
That surprise. What I want to talk about, like we've kind of been keying up, is about the future. And I think the best place to start with that would be, what has the process been like preparing the next leader, being the leader, preparing the next leader? What has that process been like for you?
I gotta get my mic right. It's been a long process. I would say it started a long time ago. I mean, I'm a believer in always trying to replace yourself, work yourself out of a job. I know it sounds weird for some people. Like, what am I going to do if I work myself out of a job? Well, you'll do more. You'll do more. We'll find something more. So I've kind of always had that mentality, and it was pretty clear to me pretty early that Brandon was the kind of person that I wanted to, really pour into. And he had the appetite for it, wanted it bad, and he had the intellect for it. He's forgotten more about student housing than I know about student housing, so he's super sharp, always learning. And so, I thought he had that. He had the empathy that you need as in the top box. You've got to put others before you, and he's shown that right away and often. And you've got to be able to work on yourself. Personal reflection, self-reflection. How do I show up? What's it like to be on the other side of me? All those kind of things. He showed it early, and he was like a sponge that just wanted to learn. And so a lot of shoulder to shoulder time over the last 4 years. We office right next to each other, lots of 5-minute meetings, probably 6 5-minute meetings a day on average. If you got a little time between other meetings or other appointments or whatever, we would just touch base on things, what we're working on and what's happening today, and kind of just grew together on how to lead the company. And so about a year ago, we said, let's put a plan in place and make this happen. Let's put Brandon in the president role, which eventually we decided that's going to be the CEO role. And it's really about where can he take it now? I mean, he's got, again, the experience, the intellect, the drive, the passion, the network to really take Tailwind way farther than I could have taken Tailwind. And so that's kind of how it's gone, right? It's just shoulder to shoulder every day. We do one-on-ones just like I do with about 25 other people. And, we get very direct about what he's got to work on and what his challenges are. With him, I don't have to pull any punches. I can just go right at him, and he takes it. I think the one thing that he gets that's just real natural is he understands the upside down triangle, which is the leaders at the bottom and is serving everyone else. Everyone else is more important. And he just kind of naturally gets that. And so he's been super easy to kind of coach and mentor, and really accepts it well. He knows he's smarter than me on the business. He knows it, but he never talks about it, never flaunts it. And he just absorbs whatever he can. And so he's been great. Transition's going really well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
In your new position as Chief People Officer, one of the things that you're going to focus heavily on from the discussions that I've been a part of is leadership development. And I would love to hear from you why that's so important to you, like why that would be what you would choose as your next chapter for yourself and what you hope to accomplish.
The why. I guess it's because someone invested in me. I was just a punk kid. Man, if I wish you could have saw me in my early 20s. I used to show up in a department, was so intense, was so driven to perform that people would run. I mean, literally, Linda and I worked in the same company for a couple of years, and she's like, do you know when you walk in, people leave? You're too intense, And I used to run printing presses, and my goal was, I'm going to make this guy quit. I'm going to run so hard and produce so much that he can't keep up. That's just messed up mentality. Why would you think like that? Well, that's just kind of who I was as a young person. And I was blessed enough to have two really critical mentors in my life that changed things for me. One was a retired doctor, 50 years, almost to the day older than me, and met with him every single week. And he just poured into me. I would call him my spiritual mentor, but he got me kind of between the lines in a good way, and about caring more about people than myself, and just changed my life. And then my boss, a guy named Lee Timmerman, who probably my direct supervisor for 15 years, president of the company. We'd have meetings with the leadership team, and the meeting would be over. I've probably told you the story, and he'd be like, thanks everyone, Lane, stick around. And then it was the after meeting about how I behaved in the meeting, and my intensity and my pacing and get up and leave. And so I had mentors. So why leadership? Why is it so important to me? Because somebody invested in me, and it changed my life, and it made a difference for me. And I just want to do that for people. I want to, and I'll talk about it a little bit later. I know you're going to ask me about culture, and I'll get into it then, but we have a saying that we try to live by. Sean said it in that, and Michael said it in that video that you showed me, that we fight for the highest possible good for the people that we lead and the people that we serve. And I think that's why I do it. I love to see people elevate their game. I love to see people change and grow and work on self-reflection and things that are really hard. I did that, and I love to see people do it. So I think that's why I love leadership.
Just a kind of like funny side note, as I hear you talking, a lot of times when you and I are having one-on-one meetings, you'll talk to me about, the person that you were at my age. And I've always wondered if the Lane at 29 years old if we would be friends or not. What do you think?
Oh, yes, we would.
We would, because we're the same person.
We would be dangerous. We would be dangerous.
Well, that's just so many times you and I have talked, and you've paralleled, my story with where you were at, which I think has made for a really unique relationship for you and I over the last 4 years. And I finally, as I heard you talking, it just kind of dawned on me. I'm like, I wonder if wonder if that Lane and I would be friends. And I actually kind of meant to bring this up earlier and forgot, but and I think it's true in the leadership development piece is, you're the chief people officer. I'm the director of leasing and marketing. Why am I the one having the conversation with you about your new position? But because of your passion for sales, we formed a relationship very early on. And it was challenging at times, but we are kind of where we are now, which I think we're both proud of.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it was split into thirds whenever, I work with you. It's about, sales and leasing. How's it going?
Sure.
It's about my team and like my development. And then the last part of it, which I think is why you're going to be so successful in this new position, is just about where I'm at as a person, and a big focus. I mean, you have a great relationship with my husband, my dog's name, the closeness that I have, with my dad. And so I just think that where you choose to put your focus when you spend time with people will lend itself to a lot of success in this new role for you. And that's kind of what I meant. And I think that's what a lot of other people said, is the care for people. And that's super important.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think I would be remiss if I didn't talk about how hard mentor relationships can be at times. When I started at Tailwind, I noticed very early I didn't have a mentor here. I didn't have anybody that could show me the ropes, anybody that could coach me, anybody that could push me. And I just was, again, fortunate enough where one of my best friends in life, I just was calling him and kind of talking about the job and what I'm struggling with and battling. And he's like, you should call Sean. He's a business coach. My buddy Sean, right? And I'm like, I met Sean once 25 years ago. I kind of know him, but I don't know if I need a coach. He said, you should just call. So I called Sean and we started this coaching relationship. So he became my mentor. And I'm telling you, Devan, you think you and I fight sometimes? Him and I fight almost every time. I mean, he's pushing me hard and I need it. I really need it. And I hate it. I really hate it. If you were to talk to Sean, he would tell you he knows the battles that I fight, and he gets the brunt of it. But I've incorporated so much of what he's taught me about how to lead people and how to coach people and how to challenge people, even how to love people. And so we all need a coach. We all need a mentor. I would encourage everybody that listens to this to have one in some place in their life. Sometimes it's mom or dad, and that's a good place to start. But super important to find someone that will challenge you and push you, work on those growth edges.
Yeah, so I think that's a really cool thing to give the listeners a takeaway from all the things that we're talking about. And what's really cool is Sean's right there, one of those people right alongside all of us, congratulating you and being so excited for you. So I just think that's really cool. And I think it lends very naturally into kind of the next thing that I want to talk to you about, and that's culture. Mm-hmm. You've brought up culture quite a bit through this conversation. And, as the chief people officer, I know culture is also going to continue to be an important focus point and area for you. So, what do you think defines a great company culture? And if you would feel so inclined, maybe share some examples of where you've seen that here.
Yeah, I think it starts with mission and vision. People got to know what you're here for. What are you trying to do? What's your purpose? What's the vision of the company? What is Tailwind known for? What are we rallying around? So we have a mission and a vision. We need to be better at talking about it more often, and finding a way to get it into conversations more often so that people embrace it. Because I don't think everybody really knows the mission and vision. You've heard me say we're here to fight for the highest possible good for the people we lead and serve. That is sort of a mission statement that I wouldn't say is public, but it probably will be soon. And who are those people that we fight for? not just our employees, but our residents, our communities that we live in and work in, our investors, even our vendors. I would say anyone that you come in, that you interact with, you want to leave them with an experience that changes them somehow. Boy, that's a Tailwind employee. You know, I want every Tailwind employee to remember that they represent this company, and we want to leave a mark. Mm-hmm. And that mark is to fight for the highest possible good for people in all cases. How do we do that? Well, you've heard me say this 1,000 times, but it's the support challenge matrix, the support challenge idea. High support, love and care for residents, love and care for employees, tools that people need, the support that people need. You know, it's a call up culture, not a call out culture. But also high challenge, which is a little harder. The support part's pretty fun, it's pretty easy, but the challenge part can be harder. But you know, little things like we want to collect every dollar of rent, every dollar. We want to lease to 100%, not 95. Things like that, right? So, and the challenge part to me is really what is your challenge? What do we need to mine out that healthy conflict in order to help people elevate their game? To me, that's the first step on culture. Mm-hmm. The next steps are creating a great trusting environment where people trust their leaders, they trust each other. A lot of that happens in the one-on-one that I encourage so highly. And then really the third is just working on high character and growth edges in those one-on-ones. And if you can do those three things, you can help people, you know, empower people, and, you know, create engagement. When you walk into a site, the staff is engaged, even the CAs. They have responsibilities. They're not just at the desk answering the phone. They actually have real things that they're responsible for, that they own. Might be keeping the gym in great shape all the time. Yeah. Might be I'm in charge of making sure the place smells great. You know, anything. People need to be empowered and have responsibilities and feel like they're part of it. Yeah. To me, that's empowerment.
That's cool. Well, I appreciate you, you know, kind of talking us through. I just think it's been really fun. You know, we've had an opportunity to reflect on the last 4 years. I had an embarrassing loss in the game that is highly disputable. Maybe the listeners will agree with me. Kind of hung in there through a surprise, which lent itself very naturally to talking about the future. So probably is a good time before we kind of wrap things up to head over to our special segment, which for this episode will be Carly and Dylan recapping the Leasing Belt and Social Icon. And you love the Leasing Belt.
Of course.
I've gotten many messages from you of, I think I know who's going to win it this month. Yeah. So they're going to take it and they're going to recap everybody that's won it so far, along with Social Icon for this year. So we're going to send it over to Dylan and Carly, and we'll be back in just a moment.
All right.
We're back. Thank you, Devan, for giving us a little introduction. We're back to talk about the Leasing Belt and Social Icon Award winners.
And for those of you that don't remember, I'm Carly Davis, Social Media Manager for Tailwind Group.
And I'm Dylan Gregory, Outreach Marketing Specialist for Tailwind Group.
And we're so happy to be back on the podcast to talk all things of what we've been up to over the last few months since we've been on.
Yeah, so in September, we had LMS, which is our Leasing and Marketing Summit. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about what that all entails?
Yeah, so the Leasing and Marketing Summit, it's personally one of my favorite events that Tailwind Group puts on. Our site teams and our corporate teams get together. Typically, it's in Mankato. Sometimes it's off-site. So this year, it was in Des Moines, Iowa. And they all come in, they travel, and our sales and marketing team and a couple of other departments, we put together some presentations, some topics that we really want to hit on. And we plan just a really fun week for everyone to get together, learn, develop their skills, and have a great time. We also have an award ceremony where we celebrate everyone's achievements. So it's a really fun week overall.
Yeah, and it actually works out perfect with timing wise, because a week after the Leasing and Marketing Summit, we kick off Lease Launch. So that is perfect timing. The site staff is able to implement everything that they just learned at the Leasing and Marketing Summit. So it works out great.
Absolutely. And it's just a time where they can recharge and then hit the leasing season full force.
Yes.
And do their thing.
Exactly.
Well, okay. So we had the Leasing and Marketing Summit. We had lease launch. What else has our team been up to?
Oh boy, we have been up to a lot of rebranding. Something that Tailwind Group does is we acquire a lot of properties and then we rebrand them to make them one of our own core brands. So we recently had 4 rebrands in the past month or
And
so.
don't forget to mention they were back-to-back rebrands.
Yes.
And who goes to the rebrands?
Us.
Yes.
We do.
Yes.
But it was a really fun month. We started in Ames with the Landing Ames. So they were originally South Duff. We had them for a couple years before we decided to transition them into the Landing Ames. That was a really fun party with an obstacle course, food, DJ, giveaway items.
Yeah.
It was a blast.
Great turnout. The residents were loving it. I know just being there, I connected with a lot of the residents and they had nothing but great things to say and how they were so excited for what was to come with the Landing.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then the following week, we were in Manhattan, Kansas. We were rebranding to the Quarters Manhattan. That one was really fun as well. That one actually goes down in the books as the most leases signed at a party in Tailwind Group history. I believe they had 30-some leases that were signed throughout that night after the party. So big shout out to everyone on that team for making that happen.
Yeah, and that one was a fun one. Not only was it was my first time being in Manhattan, Kansas, but we had Dylan and Mike come down from our investment team, and they usually are helping on the back end of things and the rebrands and all of that. And so it was really cool to see them there supporting us and supporting the team at the event, but they also got a front row seat to what goes into these events and what we're actually spending money on.
Yeah, they may have made a couple comments about wanting to switch jobs with us, but we'll keep that between us.
I love it. So then what was after Manhattan?
After Manhattan, the week after was the Landing Lawrence, so another Kansas property. This one was really fun. We had Baby J, the mascot, came. We were super jealous because we were not able to attend that one, but we had some amazing team members go. Devin about had a heart attack when she saw Baby J. She loves Baby J, so that was really fun for her. The Landing Lawrence also set a Tailwind Group record. They had the most attendees at a rebrand party that we've ever had. They had 237 attendees.
Wow.
Yeah, it was wild. So that party was good vibes the whole time.
No, I love watching the rebrands unfold on Instagram stories. So I was sitting there on my phone watching the event as it unfolded. And then I loved that it went into the nighttime. I feel like we haven't had a rebrand party that's gone into like when it's actually dark outside.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been so fun to throw some glow sticks out there or even, capitalize on it being dark. So I think that could even be a good future idea for the next rebrand party that we have, especially given the time of year if the sun goes down.
For sure. Yeah, we actually had one little glow stick and we used it for the putt-putt game.
Just one little glow stick.
Just one glow stick. We happened to find it, but we used it for putt-putt and it had like a glowing little runway for it and it was really cool and fun.
Well, our logo, it's been around for so long, and this year our design team revamped the logo, had a lot of discussions with a lot of people, and we decided on this new look, this new color.
Yeah, the green on site was beautiful. We hung up the temporary signage outside and it just looks amazing. People were driving by and honking at us as we were putting it up and they were like, congrats on the rebrand, it looks so good. And those were just passerbyers.
Oh
so
my gosh.
It's great.
I love it. So it sounds like the rebrands were a hit. You were very busy. So since we were last on the podcast, we've had our Leasing and Marketing Summit, we've had lease launch, we've had a busy 2 months with rebrands. Let's kind of shift gears and maybe we should touch on our leasing belt winners and our social icon winners since we were last here.
For sure. So as you guys might remember from the last one that we were on, the leasing belt is like a giant WWE style belt that gets shipped from site to site depending on who wins it. We also include like some merch from the previous site so that the upcoming winner gets a fun little prize to open. And then they get their photo put on the front of the newsletter as well as announced in a leasing and marketing meeting. So it's really fun and cool to kind of go through and highlight those who had successful leasing months. I'll just run through our past few winners since we last chatted. In June, it was the Quarters Vermilion. In July, the winner of the leasing belt was South Duff, which is now the Landing Ames. We did not have one in August as we were kind of taking a pause on leasing. And then in September, it was College Town Oxford. And the month for October, it was the Quarters Mankato. They had 230 leases signed in the month of October, which is wild.
Yeah, that is insane.
Yes.
For leasing launch to take off that fast, that quickly. I used to be a leasing manager at the Quarters Mankato when I first started with Tailwind Group, and it it just starts and it's like you announce that you're leasing and the word spreads like wildfire. Everyone is knocking on your door, trying to get in because they know it's a really great place to live here in Mankato.
Exactly.
So I've been there. Props to the team for all the hard work, all the long hours you're putting into leasing, because that's a lot of leases to get in a very short amount of time.
It is. Big congratulations to Morgan, Amber, and all of your team there. Do you want to give us an update on who has won the Social Icon Award since we last talked?
Absolutely. So Social Icon Award, it is an award. If you guys missed the last episode, the Social Icon Award is awarded to the site that meets all of our monthly requirements on social posting, and they gain followers, they gain engagements, and they perform really well on social. So the Social Icon winners since last time we were on the podcast. So in June, it was Carson at the Quarters Oxford. July was Brielle at the Quarters Cedar Falls. August was Carson again at the Quarters Oxford. Big congrats to them, our first 2-time Social Icon winner last year. September was Jaleesa at the Landing St. Louis. And then October was Rent MSU. Andrew, Darcy, Bailey, and Danny all won that award. And not to mention, they had a ton of new followers on social this month. They haven't missed a post, I don't think, since Andrew came on the team at Tailwind Group. I mean, you can probably remember when he first started.
I do. I remember when he first started, he was gung-ho about getting the Social Icon Award. A few months later, here we are. So huge congrats to Andrew and the team.
Big congrats to all of our site teams, whether you won a Social Icon Award or a Leasing Belt Award or you're in the running for the awards. We appreciate you guys and all of your hard work.
Perfect. Well, we will pass it back to Devan and Lane.
Well, thank you so much, Dylan and Carly, for talking about the Leasing Belt and Social Icon. It's been a great episode, and I have just kind of a few closing questions for you.
Okay.
My first one being, this is our December episode. This is our last episode of the year. This is actually going to be our last episode of season 1 before we go kind of workshop. What did we love? What do we want to change? What are we going to do different? How are we going to take this to the next level for season 2? And so I think we're just in, with Tailwind Talks, a really reflective period. And so thought it would be really nice to kind of reflect a little bit with you as we look at 2024 as a whole. What are you most proud of, or what are you personally reflecting on and thinking about?
Yeah. There's lots of things. I probably would focus on a couple things that, just come to the front of my mind. But this idea of making your workspace really great is something that we focused on pretty hard. Are we batting 1,000? No, not every office or workspace is great, but we want to get there. We made some big changes on the 7th floor, and it's just a lot more of it just feels like a more conductive work environment. We have a lunchroom now. People hang out. It's just it feels like a really fun place to office, and we love having people in the office. So that's been good. The Plymouth team is operated out of an office that just isn't a lot of fun.
Well, somebody on my team offices out of there.
Yeah.
And she told me it's scary. Not because of the people. She's like, the building is just scary.
Yeah, I've heard it described a lot of different ways that I can't say on here, but it's not great.
Do you agree with scary? Would you say that's a fair assessment?
It's not a great place to. So they bought a new office building that's an investment for Tailwind, and we have other people that will lease it as well, but they're going to have 1 floor.
Sure.
And it's beautiful, and it's going to be really fun. That's in February. And then I think about some of the clubhouses that we've renovated.
Mm-hmm. We do that a lot.
And we do that a lot, right?
Yeah.
I wish we could do it across the board every time, but we do it a lot, and we always are trying to find ways to do it when we haven't been able to do it. So I just think it's important that when people show up for work, it's a fun environment. It's clean. It's nice. Yeah. I think it just helps kind of the entire energy and feeling, about where you work. I'd say that's number 1, and then number 2 is just people growth. And it's not just people that I interact with. I see it kind of across the board. I have, like I said earlier, a lot of one-on-ones every month, and we're pushing growth edges everywhere. Sometimes it takes longer than others. Sometimes people take to it really quickly and make quick change. But we talk about muscle development a lot. The intellect, your IQ, that muscle. Are you learning? Are you educating yourself on what you do? Are you following industry productions or podcasts, or reading books, this whole idea of IQ, and then are you developing your EQ, your emotional intelligence, how you interact with people, how you read a room, sort of that give and take, when to say something, when not, that whole idea of emotional intelligence. And then the hardest one by far is personal development. Are you willing to, look in the mirror and have self-reflection, and what is it like to be on the other side of me, and how do I make some changes in order to make a bigger impact and grow. And so I've just seen that in so many places. It's just, I would say that's probably the thing that I'm most proud of. And we're starting to see other leaders now really try to develop people in those ways. And it's becoming a multiplication kind of thing, which is super fun.
That's so cool.
Those are probably the two big ones.
Yeah. And with this being our December episode, we're coming into a really exciting and fun time, the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the tree. We've gone the whole episode. We haven't talked about the tree.
Let's go.
I would love to hear if you have any fun plans for the holidays this year, or any family traditions that you're happy to share.
Sure. Well, I love Thanksgiving. It's my favorite holiday of the year. I'm not 100% sure why, but my favorite F words are on Thanksgiving. So, family, food, football.
That's where you were going with that. Okay.
It's a slower time. To me, it's like a slower holiday. You're kind of just hanging out, playing games. People aren't in such a hurry. You don't have all the things you got to do. It's just hang out, right? And so I love Thanksgiving. We usually get together, with family, and we, invite other people that aren't around family or whatever. This year, me and my oldest daughter, her family, and Linda, so 5 of us, are heading to Fayetteville. So
to see Kylie.
Yeah, so we got a 10-hour drive. So we're going to have Thanksgiving with Kylie and Darwin,
cool.
and the boys. It's going to be fun. So our family's kind of split in two. The other 2 families are going to be up in the cities, but I'm sure we'll FaceTime or something.
Yeah.
So I love Thanksgiving. Christmas is also really fun, but it's always really fast paced.
It's so fast.
Yeah. And you know how families are, right? You got family on both sides of the equation. So how do you make it all work, and when do you get together? And the way the girls set it up is 1 year it's with their in-laws on actual Christmas, and then 1 year it's with us. So I think this is a non-family Christmas at actual Christmas time, but I believe what we're going to do is the following week sometime, we're going to go up to the lake and hang out together and have campfires and inside the house fires, and we play broom ball. So I've got official hockey nets, like NHL hockey nets.
As you would.
And I bring my snow blower up and we clean off the ice, and the boys are fanatical about it. So we'll play broom ball until I can't walk. So that's Christmas. How about you?
Me, I feel like you're flipping the interview back, which is kind of fun. I know exactly what you mean. I think that Christmas is so fast paced because you're trying to, make time for all the people that matter to you, and not even just family. I mean, I have a church group that I'm super close with, and we try to do stuff together. And then there's my dad's family and my mom's, and then my husband's family, and so it is a very fast paced time. Also, trying to include non-family members, making sure that you make time for them. I think that not so much a holiday tradition or a family tradition, but I have really tried to make a tradition of taking the time between Christmas and New Year's off and setting daily goals for myself of I want to do this thing around the house that I've been putting off. I want to read this book that I bought that I was so excited about 6 months ago, and things got busy and I never had time. And so I really tried to use that time to just take care of things that I'm excited about, but for one reason or another kind of got put off on the shelf. And when I get to the end of that And then I get to New Year's and I celebrate with my friends and stuff like that. And then I come back to work, I'm rejuvenated because it's like I not only had all this celebration time and family time and stuff, but I did things for me that are important to me that are going to set me up for, you know, the next couple of months and stuff like that. So that's I just hit the mic, but that's something that I've put a big focus on doing in the last couple of years.
Okay. So then I got to give you a challenge.
Okay.
So one day on that week that you got it all scheduled out and you're going to just one day.
Does that sound just like me?
It just sounds like Devan. So one day I want you to wake up and have 0 on the calendar. 0. And just be like, what am I going to do today?
You guys are getting some insight into what our one-on-ones are like. This is how it goes.
What am I going to do today? No plan. One day is all.
I can agree. To one day.
All right.
One day is all you get. Well, Lane, this has been super fun.
Yeah.
You know, we have a couple different hosts of Tailwind Talks. And when the discussion came up of having you on the podcast, I have a way of getting my way. And I was like, I want to be the one to get to have, I mean, this is definitely not the only time, but I was like, I want to get the first stab at interviewing Lane for this. So I really appreciate you agreeing to come on when we asked you to come on, to doing this with me, to kind of taking this to whichever route I wanted to take it. And I hope you enjoyed it, but this was a lot of fun for me. So thank you for being a part of it.
Well, thank you. You did a phenomenal job, especially thank the gift you gave me. It was amazing. This was fun. It's messing up my social footprint. You know, like I have like this goal of having a 0 social footprint.
You used to have Instagram because you used to follow me and then I lost a follower and that really sucked.
Yeah, it's all good.
Well, again, thank you so much. I think I speak for so many people when I say that we are so excited for you in your new position. And we appreciate you sharing all your wisdom with us and being a part of this. And you know how much you mean to me. And so we hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you for listening to our last episode of season 1. It's been such an exciting time as we built this and kind of figured out, you know, what we wanted to do and what our goals were and what we could achieve. And we're really excited to have you guys back with us for season 2. We promise to bring you all sorts of new and exciting and fun things. But just like Lane gave me a challenge, I will give you a challenge. If you have suggestions, please send them to us at marketing@thetailwindgroup.com. Otherwise, Lane and I would love to wish you a happy holidays and we'll see you guys in season 2. Thanks, everyone.